Hi, I'm Ben and I'm the founder and creative director of Noble Agency. Today I've got Chloe with me.
Hello.
And Chloe's our client service director. We're super excited to be here at NextWave to be presenting. It's a really cool idea to have these conferences virtual so everyone can keep learning and experiencing everything there is about employer marketing. It's a bit of a novel thing for us. This is our first time, and it's also our first time in real clothes for about 2 months. We've been wearing activewear, as you probably are now. So we hope you're all sat comfortably. And we're going to run through a few things for you today.
Yeah, and so what we'll be sharing with you today is a few examples of how you can get the most out of your marketing efforts. A lot of our examples will focus on the external marketing side and recruitment efforts, but what we share with you today can really apply externally or to internal marketing as well. So grab your pen and paper and sit in for 5 of our top tips. Okay, let's get started. Before we get into number 1, we're online at the moment, so if you've got any questions, feel free to type them away and we'll be there to answer them. Okay, so number 1 is get ready to get emotional. So remember that recruitment marketing is less about the recruitment process and more about making an emotional connection, because emotional connection is what drives action, and it also is what separates you from your competitors. If you're very similar at a rational level, offering the same benefits, perhaps the same parental leave policies, it's very difficult for top talent to choose you. Whereas if you've made an emotional connection, that's really going to help you stand out and be memorable to your target audience. So what that looks like practically is to define the feeling that you want to evoke and that drive your marketing ideas, rather than looking at the audience that you're looking to attract, maybe the qualifications that they have or the job spec and requirements. Instead of letting that drive your marketing ideas, write down what you want your audience to think, what you want them to feel, and what you want them to do, and then let that drive your decisions of how you're going to market to those people. So that might change throughout their experience, and you can map it out in phases like this, but make sure that you're thinking about what you want your audience to think, feel, and do at each of those stages, and then go from there.
Yeah, and one example we've literally just run at the moment for one of our clients in Chicago was we uncovered that the feeling that we wanted to give to the interns on their internship was the magic of travel. Now, obviously, with the COVID situation, there's not much travel going on, and they are in Chicago. So what we ended up doing for them to create that sense of wow and magic of travel, we actually gave all of the interns a VR headset, an Oculus, and it's preloaded with some software called Wonder. And that Wonder software then enables them to transport themselves to the 7 wonders of the world, all over the cities all over the world, and they get that. We can still create that sense of travel. And so what we've done is we've created a feeling for them of wow, I'm still getting to see these places around the world, and I'm stuck at home. So it's working with what you've got and looking for where's the levers that we can pull around creating that wow, that travel feeling.
Yeah, and we've started hearing words from the candidates already around wow and immersive to describe the experience that they've had, which is great. It means it's all working, and it means that that we've chosen the right way to market to those people because we've looked at the emotion we want to drive first. So number 2 is you are the unicorn. So often we hear talent acquisition specialists talking about these purple squirrels and unicorn candidates, these magical candidates that possess a unique combination of qualities and attributes that they're looking for. And our advice is to stop thinking about the candidate as the unicorn and start thinking about yourself and your brand as the unicorn. What separates you from your competitors? And that's what you need to lead with. You can't lead with the same thing that everybody else is leading with as well. It needs to be what separates you from them and what's going to make that unicorn candidate pick the unicorn brand.
So a good example of that would be some of the big tech firms out there. So they've all got pool tables, they all give free lunches, and they've all got a fantastic view across cities. So we are looking for what makes you guys special. And for one of our clients, the thing that made them a unicorn, or their unicorn that they could market, was in software development. Software development can take a long time. So you have to have customers, testing, you've got to set the software out there, then you've got to test it, get the feedback and make iterations. Our client actually has a 2-day feedback loop. So for technologists, this is groundbreaking. This is actually, no red tape. The customer is the person that sits next to you. That's their unicorn. So it's a really simple thing for them. They didn't have to create anything. It's just the way they work. And it's the nature of their business. And that's one of the things. So it's a fast impact was one of the things that we led with when we were marketing them to career starters.
Yeah, so instead of banging on about the free lunches and the pool tables, what was really going to get the attention of those people was that fast impact message. So the messages around the office and that sort of thing still needed to be there, but what was going to get our audience to choose us over someone else was that unicorn that we led with.
Number 3, dare to be different. So you've uncovered your unicorns and now it's time to put them to use. So you need to start marketing those great things that you've got to say. Cut through in the market is imperative to recruitment, obviously. If we look at graduate marketing, it's a very, very busy space. I'm sure you've all been to graduate careers fairs. It's so busy. There's posters everywhere, roller banners everywhere. There's a lot of noise in the market. Then we also look at technology firms and how they're all marketing themselves. How many people have seen pictures of, leading technology jobs with people holding laptops or iPads? Everyone's doing the same things. We need to stand out and really get that cut through to grab people's attention, because for example, at the careers fair, you may have 10 seconds as someone walks past your stand to grab their eye and grab their interest and have a conversation with them. So that's a really key thing, is to do that. For one of our clients, we created a campaign for them, and it was Start Discovering. And what we were able to do is create really eye-catching imagery which stood out in the market, stood out in those busy environments, and started to give them a platform which was attracting talent in to have the conversation, because it drove an inquisitive thing in their mind to wonder, what is this all about, because it looks so different.
I've seen a lot of action going on.
So with our campaign that was really standout, we were able to get everyone's attention that was walking past and start those conversations between the students and the hiring reps. Part of our strategy for the creative of this was to use technology to communicate to technologists. So we developed an app that they could download. Within the app was a 360 tour of the office. So even in COVID, people were able to go into the office and actually do a self-guided tour around the office. You could then click on videos and hear from traders and developers and those kinds of things. So it's really interactive, immersive experience, which also links back to the feelings that we were talking a few points ago. Of how do we drive the feelings and look for the emotional drivers of the market.
Even the brochure itself wasn't just a plain old paper brochure that a lot of the other stands were sharing. It had a lot of interactivity using the technology and using the app as well.
Yeah, we had fun with that, because we had the app that gave us the platform to bring in augmented reality. So in effect, what could happen, we have a paper-based brochure, so someone's got something tactile to take away and read. But also with the app in the hand, you can combine the two. And there were triggers within the brochure, which would then pop up videos. So they get this really cool video experience out of a print brochure. It's quite groundbreaking for them. But it's created all this great experience, and it's created a buzz, and it gave the cut through because no one else is doing that.
So it's always thinking about, even if you are confined, for example, at a careers fair or even online advertising, you might be confined by a template or a particular space. Really think about how you can make the most of that space and how you can, the best ways you can bring it to life. Doesn't always have to be 2D.
Number 4, never waste a good idea. Don't be afraid to look at what you've already created to solve a challenge that you're having at the moment. For example, the pandemic struck and no one saw that coming. And we had launched and created a great grad campaign for one of our clients. When we got the call from Chicago, and the team in Chicago phoned us, and the brief actually was something like, we've got 50 interns starting in 5 or 6 weeks. We need to hire 50% of them off the back of it. How are we going to do that? And so what happened is, through the conversation, they decided they would take the learning aspect of it and the course content, and we were given the brand experience. And so our job was to create that brand experience, create that emotional connection that we've been talking about, but digitally. So we looked at, well, what are we going to do with that in a pandemic? How can we get there? How can we film? And we looked at everything, we thought, we've got some great content here. We just need to repurpose and rebadge. And that's what we've been able to do for the internship. So within 5 weeks, we'd repurposed and rebadged their app. We'd changed the content in it to suit interns rather than graduates. And we did a whole heap of other stuff as well, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. And it meant that we could turn it around so quickly, and we already knew that the creative was going to resonate with that audience as well. So the client had confidence going in, and it meant that the investment they had already made on that campaign just went that whole much further, and they could extract a whole lot more value out of that one idea. The idea didn't need to die with the grad recruitment season. Number 5 is to don't be a lone ranger. Make sure you ask people within your business for help. You're in recruitment marketing, start thinking of yourself as recruitment expertise as part of the marketing team. We find the clients that are most successful are the ones who link arms with marketing early, bring them into the conversation rather than them being the gatekeepers and almost the final hurdle that you need to jump over before you can start marketing. So they might also be able to provide you access to existing insights, existing ideas, maybe even existing content that you can repurpose. It's a really good idea to make sure you're not going it alone and you join forces with marketing and brand wherever you can. Okay, so to wrap up, our 5 recommendations are to get ready to get emotional, you are the unicorn, dare to be different, never waste a good idea, and don't be a lone ranger.
And thanks for tuning in and watching us. We hope you've made it this far. We hope you enjoy the rest of NextWave. And yeah, stay well and see you all soon.